I saw Terrifier 2. Oh, okay. I will give this movie its props. I'm not going to rip right into this movie because I legit hated the first Terrifier. I hated it because of the potential of the character. And I was just like disappointed. I'm like, how are you going to have this dope of a character in such an underwritten fucking fan filmish looking movie, right? Then I saw Terrifier 2, and I get it. They want to lean into this splatter, gore genre, you know, like the 80s throwback, which is cool. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't like a lot of gore in my horror movies. Now, if there's some, that's cool. If there's some horror, if there's some gore, okay. Hostel, for example. That was borderline for me. I'm like, okay, you know, you've seen the horror iceberg. I'm kind of all over the place right now. I don't really like going below wherever Hostel is. That's kind of where I'm at with horror movies. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. I like a little less is more. If you can, the scariest things cannot be on camera, and you can still be scared. The tension, the atmosphere, like what does Dave McRae say? The mood, the atmosphere, the ambiance. A film school. Words. Listen, you can scare people and not have a lot of gore. So while people are praising this movie for the gore, it is very gory. I didn't throw up and I didn't faint because I am prone to fainting. I tried watching Fresh. Well, I did watch Fresh. And I almost fainted. I know I didn't really eat anything before I watched it, but when it comes to cannibalism and slowly eating a spaghetti that's supposed to be human, that's where it's mental. It's a mental thing. I didn't even need to see, you don't have to like show me a bunch of stuff to make me faint or to make me get sick. So while I do appreciate the practical effects of Terrifier 2, and they were showing the unrated cut, I would like to see a pared down version just to see if it plays better, because it was over 2 hours, man. That's a long time. For a movie like this, could have been like an hour 45. A good hour 45. I appreciate them trying to inject a story into this film. Thank you. It's hard to go from scene to scene of just watching people get killed with no real story. Because at what point is you're just trying to watch some snuff film or something, right? So, but as far as Art the Clown, he's saying, people are saying, he's the new horror icon. Well, it's looking like that. We haven't had something like this in a really long time. Which is why it's interesting, because I'm always saying, don't hold back. Make the film you want to make. Don't hold back for the general audience. As far as the comic book movies, like, oh, well, we have to water it down so the general audience will watch it and they'll understand it. They don't give a fuck about the general audience with Terrifier 2. And I kind of respect that. Because they made this movie off of $200,000, and in 3 weeks they made $5 million, and then they've extended it into 1,500 theaters through Halloween. Dude, this might be the most successful low budget horror movie to ever be made. I can't even talk right now. I might be incorrect with that, but that's how it's looking. Am I wrong? This movie cost $200,000 to make. $5 million. Imagine what Terrifier 3 will look like. And you got Daniel Harris and Scott Compton wanting to be in Terrifier 3. I don't know if they've seen Terrifier or Terrifier 2. I'm going to be honest. I know they do horror movies, but I don't know if at this point in their lives, I don't know if they want to be brutalized like that on camera. So horror fans, lower your expectations on the chances of Daniel Harris and Scott Compton coming back or coming to Terrifier 3. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. Well, I'll be shocked to see if they do. Because yes, women be getting brutalized in this film. They don't hold. He doesn't hold back. Homie doesn't hold. He pulls out the blick in the first one. Dude, that shit. So many people are commenting about that. As soon as he pulled out, how are you gonna outrun a clown with a fucking gun? You can't. You can't, dude. So yes, let's get back to this review though. As far as the whole sadistic nature of art, fine. They need to get better cameras or work on the color grade of these movies because they still look like a soap opera. It looks like Days of Our Lives, but then he starts fucking brutalizing people. So it's kind of like, it kind of almost helps it make it feel real. But then they also have the opening title sequence and the score is super 80s, like a throwback to the 80s, right? I feel like if they made the color grade, made it like put some grain to the film, shoot it in 16 millimeter like Rob Zombie did for Halloween 2, make it look like it was shot in the 80s. If you want to have that vibe, go all in. But when you have like modern looking soap opera cameras with an 80s score, there's something about it. It's kind of, it's leaning one way and then it's leaning the other way. It's a little disjointed. I had fun with it though. I just like watching Art perform. He's very expressive. He's almost like a Nightmare on Elm Street, like a Freddy Krueger, if he was silent. I think Art and Freddy would get along. That would be the team. That would be the next collab I would like to see. But obviously Robert Englund is very old. Not saying that's bad, but he doesn't want to be like return as Freddy. But I do think like he puts Pennywise to shame. But we also don't see a lot of Pennywise, his brutality. We don't see a lot of it. It happens off camera. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't give a fuck about the general audience, and I respect them for that. Low budget horror, man. My problem is make it look even worse. Make it look like an 80s movie. Put some color grade on that shit. And shorten up the movie a little bit. 2 hours. A little under 2 hours, hour 45. And then, listen, you guys got me on board now. I didn't like the first Terrifier. I liked All Hallows Eve. They shot that on like some HD camcorder type shit. And they had art coming through the TV and shit, like The Ring. They had a creative element to that story. Oh, the videotapes in the Halloween candy bag, Oh, we gotta watch the movie. And then now you're opening up that doorway so art can come and kill your ass. That was a creative angle. So I would go All Hallows Eve, Terrifier 2, and then Terrifier. That's my rank. What did you guys think about Terrifier 2? Do you think Terrifier 3 should appeal to the more general audience next time around? Make an R-rated movie. Not necessarily cut out the gore, but shoot it more strategically. What do you guys think? Should they just keep doing what they're doing? Am I the only one that has a problem with it looking like a soap opera? Do you guys like that vibe? I don't know. I just think that with an 80s score and your title sequence, like imagine you had that on VHS and it looked that crystal clean. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know. It's just me. That's just me. I'm weird like that. Shoot it with a 16mm. Let's go. Terrifier 2. What did you guys think?